Hey everyone, welcome back to your channel Stock Dr. RR. Last Sunday, we discussed about major indices of US stock market. We discussed about precious commodities, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and crude oil. If you remember my last Sunday's video, the thumbnail was saying that crude oil will go up and market will go down. And exactly same happened. Today, we are going to discuss about where the market will go from here. So this would be a very important video, which will say what is the next direction of the market, major important level of various indices, gold, silver, Bitcoin, and crude oil. So before we go ahead, in case you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon, and like the video. So friends, this is our channel Stock Dr. RR. Whoever are the new to this channel, I hope you will subscribe on this channel. So let's go ahead and open our favorite tool, TradingView. This is the chart of NASDAQ 100. You can see here. Last Sunday, we mentioned that there can be a fall coming, and you see how much fall it has shown us. I clearly mentioned that 24,500 is a support. If that gets break, then I'm seeing these levels. The first one was 24,100. The second one was 23,770, right? And the third one was 23,500. And then the next important level is coming around 22,900. So you guys see I think there is almost 5% drop happened after our alert. You can see here. Let's go ahead and price range from this point. It almost went down by 5.17%. And this is what exactly I mentioned that I'm expecting a drop of 5 to 7%. So let's convert this chart into the weekly and understand what is happening right now. So if you see here, the major support is coming from 23,500 to 22,900. If you see the day chart, you can see here. But again, as I mentioned last time, this is a rounding bottom inverted happened, right? And 8% fall can be possible. So out of that 5% is done, 3% is remaining. Now we need to watch if the 22,900, that crucial level is getting broke or not. If that gets breaked, then again you will see the fall till 22,300, which I would not like to see it. But if there is a more pain, then you can see 22,300 as well. So this is about the downside. For the upside, if it stays above 23,500, right? Now the 23,500 is will act as a resistance here, right? If the 23,500 it starts trading above that, then there is a possibility of bouncing back till 23,770 and 24,100. But I think this is a sell on rise market. If there is any bounce back, that bounce back can be utilized, in getting out of your positions or, shorting into the market. So this is about NASDAQ 100. And let's talk about Dow Jones first and then S&P 500. So for the Dow Jones, you can see here, same thing I mentioned that if it breaks below 26,500, then the first level is coming around 25,425, right? Now, if it starts trading below that, then the next level is coming around 44,275, and the third one is coming around 43,150. Now, if you see that, how much fall it gave from last Monday, so that is coming around 2%. So I think more fall is remaining in this index, right? Up to 4.7% and then, till 7%. So these are the downside levels. Now, if we talk for the upside, if it stays above 46,500, if it stays above 46,500, then you will see that it can go back to 47,300, right? That is the next resistance. And if it stays above 47,300, then the next upsides will be coming. But as I mentioned that this can be a sell on rise market. Maybe you will see some upside up till 46,000 and then again starts going down. This is what I think can happen. So let's talk about S&P 500. S&P 500 chart looks very dangerous to me at this point of time, because it has uh, what 64,000 6,400 is a very important support for S&P 500. So actually, if you see that we just reached near 6,400. Now, if this breaks below that, then mm, big fall is, or the next fall is coming around, if you can see here, that is coming around 6268, right? So it is already, if you see, I clearly mentioned that 6650 is a very important support, and that got break on Monday, right? And from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you can see here it went down by almost 4%. And now the next level is coming around 6268, and that is again 2.25% of fall. Same pattern here, rounding bottom, inverse rounding bottom pattern. Or you can say that rounding top pattern, and then the see how we determine the targets for this kind of pattern is the depth of this pattern. So depth is 6.22%. So that much would be the fall, right? So it's almost uh, more than half, and now these points are remaining, right? And the trend reversal will happen if it stays above 6650 and then go to 6700 and then stays above 6700, then 6750, 6815, 6875, which I don't think is possible at this point of time. You might see some bounce back like till 6500, 6551, and then again start going down, as I mentioned, uh sale on rise type of market, right? So let's talk about the next index, that is Russell 2000. Or the Russell 2000, you can see here, as I mentioned last time, for Russell 2000, 2550 was uh, it's an important resistance, and that resistance is not getting break. The Russell 2000 is trying to trade below that, you can see here. So the first support was around 2508. That was a first downside target. The second is 2464. It is currently at 6264 2464. Now, if 2464 gets break, then you are going to see a pain that is 2425. The first one, the second one is 2345, and the third one 2275. Whether this is going to come, it will not. We are not sure, because right now it is currently at the make or break level on the trend line. And we are expecting, if it breaks below 2450, then you can see almost the pain of first pain at 1.5%, second pain at 4.87%, and third pain is coming around 7.5%. Let's talk about gold. The gold is trying to come back. As I mentioned, for the gold, to 4465 is an important resistance, and it broke that resistance. So now it might try to go for 4618, 4706, 4800. This will be the upside target for the gold. If again it starts trading below 4465, then it can go back to 4325, 4244, and 4116. But technically, I feel there is upside which is possible in the gold because the RSI is also oversold and it is trying to catch up on the resistance. Let's talk about the next commodity, silver. For the silver, it's the same situation. It is currently in middle of the zone between 71 to 65. As I mentioned last time, if it starts trading above 75, then definitely one can look for 75, 78.5, and 82. So once it breaks 71, you can see here on the Wednesday, it went back to 75, right? And on Thursday, again, it went down. And on Friday, it closed around 69.79. So if it again stays above 71, then these three upsides are possible. We will talk about downside only below 65, right? If it starts trading below 65, then the downside levels are 62.5, 60.30, and 57.85. Now let's talk about our favorite coin, Bitcoin. For the Bitcoin, if you see here, Bitcoin is showing a very weak chart, right? So I want to show you that it has made a head and shoulder pattern here. This is the head, this is the head, and these are the shoulders, right? And it gave a breakdown on that, right? And multiple times it tried to stay above 72K, but it is not staying above that. And right now it is trading near 66,350. But I think if it doesn't stay above 66,000, ultimately it is coming down towards 60K. And if it breaks below 60K, then I am seeing a big drop down, almost 20K to 25K of drop. That means 60K, then 653.75, then 49.6, and then 42.7. These are the three major levels are possible in the Bitcoin, and that shows around almost 30% from here. The upside is possible only when it stays above 72K. If it stays and sustain above 72K, then the first target is 78, second is 84.4, and then you have these two targets, 90.5 and 93. Last but not least, let's talk about crude oil. Crude oil, as I mentioned last time, if it stays above 95.5, there will be more pain in the market, which we observed. Now, again, it broke above 95.5, went to 100, and closed around 101.38. Now, this is a major indicator, right? If crude oil stays above $100, this will be a problem for the market. Definitely, market will show more weakness. The crude oil's first target is 103, second target is 105.5, and third target is 108.5. And the fourth target is 115. If crude oil reaches till 115, then definitely the remaining fall, which I mentioned that uh, remaining 3 to 4% drop down in the market, that is highly possible. If crude oil stays below 95.5, then you might see recovery indices. If crude oil stays below 90, then you will see more recovery in the market for the upside. And here is the levels. If it stays below 95.5, then the first target is 92.4, second is 90, and third is 87.7. So guys, this is all about today's video. I tried to explain you the levels. Maybe my speed is low. You can, if you find this video is slow, then you can just turn speed to 1.5 and get the maximum experience. Uh, Before we finish this video, last but not least, in case if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request you to go subscribe to this channel and let's learn and earn together. Thank you. You have a good